Hi, this is Harold Ross. Thanks for joining me. I often get asked by students or by people in the audience when I'm giving a presentation whether their shooting space is large enough. It's a very common question, and my answer is that as long as you have roughly 4 feet by 5 feet of shooting space, that actually is enough. What that really means is that the subjects that we shoot will then have to be smaller. There is a very interesting thing about light painting that I've found over the years, and that is that the scale of the subjects that we shoot is not always obvious. And in fact, many of my images are photographs of very small subjects. So I have absolutely no problem myself shooting a tiny still life. For this video, I'm going to talk about this 4 foot by 5 foot shooting space, and this image was actually photographed in that 4 foot by 5 foot space. Here's an illustration of an overhead view showing the 4 foot by 5 foot space. Here's my subject, which is only about 6 inches wide, and here's my camera, and you can see the background at the top of the frame. In a case like this, when the camera is a bit closer to the set, we actually need a larger background, and this is very counterintuitive. In this particular case, the background had to cover an area of about 36 inches. This is due to perspective. Now, let's pretend that our space is actually 6 feet deep. That means that the camera can move back, and we can now see that we only need a 26-inch background. This is because we're looking at the set from a further distance, and the perspective has changed. It's not unlike what happens when we work with a longer lens. Here's some footage of me lighting the subjects on the set with my diffused flashlight. This kind of lighting gives us what I refer to as my 3Ds: dimension, depth, and detail. And here's the capture for that. You can really get a sense for the painterly quality of light that we can achieve through the proper application of light painting. This footage shows me masking in that capture. As you may know, I believe that each aspect of an object should be lit separately so they can be lit optimally. And so through the editing process, I'll be adding each element one at a time while using my sculptural masking techniques, which enhance the dimension, depth, and detail of these subjects. And when combined with great light painting, it creates a very painterly look. It's a very powerful process. So here I'll bring in the wooden part of the level, the brass part of the level, the box or stage that everything is sitting on, the handle of the screwdriver, the blade of the screwdriver, some fill light on the left side, and last but not least, the background. And here is the final image. This is Harold Ross. Thanks for joining me.